A nice constant radius corner like this, a little brake on the way in. Then
Yeah,
pick up the throttle.
here.
Just let it, squeeze it on through there.
Yeah.
That's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, and that was so neutral. It was both front and back.
That's a big bump right there.
Yeah, right between.
I'm hardly feeling it through the steering at all. That really is impressive.
When we took the cheapest IONIQ6 on a road trip a month ago, we kind of decided that if you could deal with the styling, and a lot of people can't, it was in the sweet spot, and you probably didn't need to go to the more expensive all-wheel drive. Now at the other end of the IONIQ6 spectrum, I've been driving this top-of-the-line epic all-wheel drive this week and giving it some, so to speak. And I've kind of changed my mind. As a performance car, it's been a bit of a revelation, and significantly better than the equivalent IONIQ5. We did see a few reviews waxing on about the great dynamics, but I actually didn't see many people driving the car briskly. It seems some reviewers just drive the specification sheet, if you know what I mean. So today, I'm looking forward to getting Mark to give it a bit of a go. The short story though, epic by name and pretty epic by nature. This thing is a genuine sports sedan. So if you're a performance-oriented driver, stick around. Now a lot of two-ton electric vehicles, and they've mainly been SUVs, you've always been aware of just how much weight you're dragging around. The dual motor ones just haul ass, we know that. But when you dive on the brakes, you become very aware of that you're not in a Lotus. There's an awful lot of force and play in stopping as well as going. This car manages to disguise its weight really well. All right, I'll start her up.
Yeah, okay. Oh, it's already started.
Vroom.
Don't forget to check your mirror before you pull out, Stu. Oh, hang on.
Oh, I instinctively looked out there.
What is that thing?
They actually work really well.
Yeah.
However, I don't know what it costs if somebody sideswipes you and wipes one off.
You don't want to think about it.
I have to say, aesthetically, the outside mirrors look ugly to me. They just don't suit the car at all. They're square and the car's so... It's like an axolotl, like a sea creature, a big sea slug or something.
Yeah, you're right.
But they don't work. But they work really well.
Yeah.
At night and in bad weather, they're great. Well, that's all the good news about those mirrors. The image quality is great, day and night. Yes, fantastic. But in reality, even after a week, I was wondering why they're so hard to get used to, particularly on the driver's side. It's not just that the screen is placed in the wrong spot and you're not used to it. 3 more reasons. 1. When you're looking ahead and you glance in the wing mirror, you're still using your distance vision. But with a screen, your eye muscles have to refocus, like you're looking at the dash. It takes time and it's tiring on the eye. Secondly, a mirror still gives you 2 eyes distance perspective. As you glance in the wing mirror, you might not even realise you're doing it, but you move your head a little bit side to side, and that gives you the perspective to allow you to judge closing speeds and gaps minutely. With a screen, you don't get that perspective. You can move your head, but the view doesn't change. That's much more significant than you might think at first. And thirdly, the electronic adjustment does not go wide enough and it doesn't go high enough, so you can't actually cover the blind spot right beside you. You should be able to move the mirror out so you can't see the side of your car at all unless you move your head, and you can't do that. So in reality, these cameras don't give you confidence and you find yourself turning your head, something you should never have to do if your mirrors are set up correctly.
Yeah, so the mirrors they're interesting, aren't they? I mean, this is sort of pioneering technology, isn't it, really? And I just wonder, is it tech for the sake of tech? Is it any better than just having a glass mirror out there? Really, it isn't.
But we think it's a solution looking for a problem. Look, some tech solutions are incredibly useful, like the reversing camera that's found its way onto just about every new car and prevented millions of insurance claims. And the Korean car companies have implemented some brilliant stuff, like the top-down camera view that I first saw when on the first Genesis launch 8 years ago. With a straight face, I told people a small drone had launched from the boot and was hovering 30 metres above the car. And they actually believed me. And that was Hyundai staff. Now, a decade later, this car is absolutely loaded with tech. Some incredibly good stuff, particularly all the active crash prevention stuff, but there are heaps of useless gimmicks. I doubt anyone will buy this car because of its implementation of multicolour interior ambient lighting. Okay, too much talking, not enough driving. Let's go. See the little lines on the mirror there? Here he comes. Lovely. He wants my spot. Oh,
we've got some sound effects.
We've got the stupid sound happening. Okay, we don't need that. Okay.
Yeah, that is annoying.
I'm going to stop and actually we're going to...
Yeah, you can't really drive and work that screen at the same time, can you? Usually
No.
there's two of us doing that, but if the driver's doing that, it's all, hang on, I better stop the car so I can work the screen.
Especially as it's going to take a university degree in 3 years to actually learn this. Vehicle. Whoops, no, it's the wrong one. Sound. I'm getting used to it. Active sound design. And off. Okay, sorry about that. Now we've got the active sound design off. You will find one of the very, very best things about this car is the sound insulation. And the difference between having the windows open a little bit or not at all is huge.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Double glazed.
Double glazed? How's that? Now, a month or so ago we drove the rear-wheel drive version of this, and not really the performance version. We did all the usual stuff. We did range, we drove it to Bathurst. So if you haven't seen that video, check that video out because it's pretty good.
Laps around Mount Panorama.
Yeah, so we're not going to rehash what we did previously. So this is the performance version. This is the Epic. I think it is brilliant. Look, no brake pedal. There's my iPedal stop. As you.
Yeah, you're on full iPedal there.
Yep. The all-wheel drive Epic version. Dual motors, 605 Newton meters of torque. 3 different modes: Eco, Normal, and Sport. 239 kilowatts, something like that. But it's not about the power, it's about that torque, which is really good.
Yeah.
It is a driver's car, I reckon, and that's why you're here.
I must say, we quite enjoyed the previous one, I have to say. I was pleasantly surprised with the two-wheel drive.
One more Porsche and I will have had 10 Porsches.
Yeah.
So I understand what a reasonable
happen.
performance car is like. And this isn't a Porsche, but it's damn close.
Interesting thing is you've had the car for 4 or 5 days now and you've been living with it for a little while.
Yeah.
Day-to-day driving. Have you found it just commuting around, down the shops, that sort of thing?
If I was a business exec and I'd finished a hard day's work and I just wanted to get home and feel a little bit spoiled and relaxed, super quiet, good entertainment, this would be the car. I couldn't ask for more. How's the seat for you? It's not a sports bucket.
Yeah, plenty of support. I like the fact you can heat and cool in this model, where we couldn't cool in the two-wheel drive version, I believe.
Yeah. Do you want to know about pricing? This car versus we had the base model, that was one end of the spectrum, this is the other end. $17,000 difference between the two.
17.
So it's quite a lot for that extra motor, fancy mirrors.
I would have thought it would have been more than 17,000 between them. I'm thinking 25 to 30.
On the road, this car's $94,000, right on the luxury tax threshold.
Yeah, right.
Now, I know you're not a fan of this. I can put my steering assist on, but on the open road, I find it's been working great.
Yeah, right.
So we shall see.
Yeah, so around that bend there, that's tracking really nicely, isn't it? Right in the centre of the lane. So they've fine-tuned that a lot.
I reckon it's better than... Whoop, here we go.
There we are. I spoke a bit too soon, didn't I? Got your lane departure happening there, Stu?
Just clipped the line and then it sorted itself out.
Yeah. How long does it give you before it disarms?
About 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Before it warns me. Here comes the Tesla. Come on, buddy, don't muck around. Now
Hands on the steering wheel. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, a little bit of a touch and we're away. And I have to say, right, a good time to talk about aesthetics.
It's an old noddy car, isn't it? I'm not a fan of the look of them at all.
However, this car, from some angles...
From inside it looks great.
Yeah. From this angle, it looks good. This is a good angle, the front three-quarter view. The front-on view also looks quite good. This rear view, I think, is horrible. I really don't like it. You know when you look at a car and you first see it and you go, oh, that's beautiful. If you don't actually think that initially, you're not going to grow into it. Yeah. So we've been staring at this going, do we like it or not?
Yeah. We've been trying hard to like it.
And
I do like it more than the first one I ever saw, which I thought was hideous. So they have grown on me to some degree. It's not an attractive car, no one could call it that. And they've obviously made a statement, and this is a bit of a halo EV.
People make cars to sell cars. If you want to make a car to make a statement, everyone goes, oh, look at that, but I'll never buy one.
Yeah.
Then you kind of haven't achieved your goal, have you? You've got to sell them at the end of the day. It's the right colour though. Gravity gold. Would you call that gold?
No, it looks more of a platinum to me. Not generally a fan of the matte colours that we see a lot of these days, but it actually kind of looks okay with this car. This is a pretty rough old motorway we're on here, just going north out of Sydney. It's it's not great, and you generally do get a lot of tyre noise, a lot of road noise here, and there's almost nothing.
The last one was running on eco tyres, if you remember, wasn't it? This has got P0s on it.
I think that's an improvement, isn't it?
Right, we've got 3 modes. We've got eco, normal and sport.
And they all do really work, don't they?
They do. And what's more, the steering feel changes. In sport mode, you get nicer weighting on the steering. Eco mode.
Let's see how it go. That's okay.
That's passive. That's pretty good for passive mode, isn't it? Normal mode.
Well, that's a good bit better, isn't it? That's a fair amount of punch there. I would say that's pretty equivalent to sport in the 2-wheel drive version.
Sport mode.
Yeah.
That's a big shove.
Yeah. That really works, doesn't it?
But if you're already rolling, ready? Snap your fingers for me. And it feels worse in the passenger seat, doesn't it?
Yeah, it always does.
Physical grip. Pirelli P0s and 2 tons gives you a lot of physical grip to start with. It just doesn't seem to carry that weight at all.
So what's the interior of this car made up from? I like the materials. Crushed Barbie dolls, or
yes.
It kind of looks that way.
All those Cabbage Patch dolls from the 2000s. They all had to end up somewhere.
Melted down, turned
Fishnets.
into
apparently, it is actually made from recycled fishnets, and I don't mean the kind you see in clubs in King's Cross. I mean
that you usually frequent.
That's right. Would you like to have a drive, sir?
Yes, we'll find a little spot when we can and swap over, and I'll.
Here's a nice spot right here.
Take it. You've got your seat cooling on, Stu.
Oh yeah. Do you want it on or off? I can adjust that for you. I like a bit of seat cooling.
Put that seat down a little bit. It's sitting a little bit too high for me.
Like the last one.
It doesn't.
The wheel doesn't come close enough.
No. Same. Yeah. Like, it's not bad. The relationship with the steering wheel is good. I've got a pretty good bend in my arm. So the ergonomics, Hyundai have improved that just in very recent times. There's a lot of videos on this car out there, aren't there, Stu? And not many people actually drive the car. So
you feel that? Isn't it balanced nicely there?
Really nice. Like that's actually superb, isn't it? Really impressive through there, Stu.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in sport mode there. It's got the pickup that you expect. It's not Porsche Taycan, is it? It's probably not.
No.
Tesla 3 dual motor. It's not there, is it?
Not quite.
But it's
more than adequate.
It feels nimble inside, and this is the deceiving thing with this car. It feels like quite a narrow car.
Yeah.
I feel like I've got a lot of road to play with here but we know it's a long wheelbase, but it's deceptively narrow. That's just nice through there, isn't it? Smooth piece of road. As you said, Stu, the bump suppression, the dampening is superb. They've really done a great job with that. But like, it's not pushing it all that really long, constant radius corner all the way through there.
Yeah.
Just a steady throttle all the way through. Is it a driver's car, Stu? I think it is. They've really got the handling of this car sorted out well. Brakes feel superb. I mean, I have iPedal going on here, but I'm using the brakes. So even when you're pushing on a little bit, iPedal, it's still really good, isn't it? Significant amount of braking. I'm not using the brake pedal at all there. That's all on iPedal. You know, when you're really pushing on hard, you'll need the brakes. But if you're just having a little bit of spirited fun driving on a country road, the iPedal works really well. Just a little brake on the way in. Then pick up the throttle. Here. Just let it. Just squeeze it on through there.
Yeah.
That's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, and that was so neutral. It was both front and back. It wasn't ploughing.
The feel of the steering, great. I really love the feel of the power steering.
Yeah.
Found a nice piece of road for us, Stu, haven't you?
Yeah, it's a lovely bit of road. Sport mode for Mark.
Really sharp on the front end, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's superb. Pirelli tyres making a difference to this car, Stu, aren't they?
I knew you'd like it. I've been quite excited all week, waiting for you to come and have a drive so you can experience what I've already found. See a little bump there?
Really good. Just handles that so well. The car's just so solid. Just the build quality of these cars.
Hyundai's come such a long way from the.
They really have, haven't
from
they?
the XLs of the 1980s.
Yeah. You know, I really like that manufacturers like Hyundai are building EVs that drive really well. You know, a lot of these EVs that you do jump in, obviously the lower end ones, they're just not a great driving experience.
The thing is, if they've got big people to put in the back, they're not going to be happy with that thigh support issue, the limited footwell.
That's an ongoing problem, isn't it? That they really need to sort, in my view.
But if you're just you and your partner and maybe younger kids or kids up to teenage years, and you want something that you can really enjoy, drive in a spirited fashion when you want to, I mean, that's freaking awesome.
That's a big bump right there.
Yeah, right
and
between.
I'm hardly feeling it through the steering at all. That really is impressive.
That's actually putting quite a bit of loading on my neck.
Yeah, a bit of G-force going on there, Stu.
Yeah. Markedly better than I remember the IONIQ6, which was good in its way, but it did feel like a van by comparison.
Yeah, I quite like the IONIQ6.
Yeah.
Being a bit more sedan-like, you can really feel that in the handling.
It's more than just the low centre of gravity. They've got the anti-dive geometry right, but it doesn't get unbalanced under brakes. If you go hammering up to a corner, what do you reckon? A little bit of throttle steer?
Yeah, really good. The fact that the car drives so well, believe it or not, for me anyway, overcomes the aesthetic. Why did they make it look so ugly, Stu?
It's like they had two different teams. They had the design team in one building.
I think so, yeah.
And
they
all
didn't
the
talk to
engineers
each
somewhere
other.
else. And did you feel the DSC come in?
Yeah, you could feel it coming in there. So it was, you'd expect that. I pushed it on us through there. So, but all very secure. It's not doing anything nasty, is it? No, that's great, Stu. Really enjoying it. You found me a nice EV that I actually like driving. It's done well. From a driving perspective, the ergonomics are good. They fixed a lot of that up. I'd like to get the seat a little bit lower, but it's actually pretty good now.
And the distance to the steering wheel, it's not quite
For
close
me,
enough?
it's good, but that's out maximum.
Yeah. And you've got the seat reasonably forward, so your legs are a little bit too bent?
I'm pretty good like that. That's how I like to be.
Okay. You did note there's a plus sign on the accelerator and a minus on the brake, just in case you forget.
Well, yeah, and I didn't even use that brake pedal at all that whole time through that little run down there. That was just all totally on iPedal, and it's actually really interesting how effectively that works.
Yeah. Maybe a couple of kids, but not full-size adults in the back. They need to have really short legs.
Yeah.
Now we have to talk about this.
We have to talk about it.
It's like they put a little lip spoiler on and went, oh, that looks good. Why don't we do another one?
Yeah, two has got to be better than one.
It isn't though, is it?
No. Does it serve some aerodynamic purpose, do you think, Stu? Maybe it does.
In our 110k per hour speed limited country. No, but I mean, you could say that about any wing and spoiler.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it helps the looks at all.
Yeah.
Little things I'll show you though. Normally you have a seal on the to the body. You don't normally have this kind of seal here to the other door.
Yeah.
That's to stop the whistle. There's a seal on the inside and there's a seal there as well. So it's part of the reason that the sound suppression's so good. And there's thick glass.
If you're looking at it from a driver's perspective, it's a real great driver's car. I mean, it does everything right. Typical EV things that we like, very low amount of body roll, sits super flat in the corners, but it just steers really well. It points into the corner nicely. You can play with the throttle and you can adjust the balance of the car mid-corner. There's a lot of EVs you can't do that with, so they've really tuned the suspension very well on it. As a driver's car, it's awesome, Stu.
It'd be hard to keep up with.
I think it would be hard to keep up with. There's a lot of motorbikes on this road here. I'd like to give them a run around some corners. They don't have nothing on the corners.
We don't do that. We don't compete with members of the public.
We don't do that.
Would you buy one?
Well, at $257 for 98 fuel that I paid this morning in my Renault Megane. I might be starting to think about an EV, Stu. Could be on the list.
It's still $94,000.
It's a large chunk of cash. Isn't
Twice the price of an entry level.
Yeah.
Mind you, this is not an entry level EV. This is a serious performance car.
The trouble is, entry level EVs are shit, aren't they? Really?
No.
They are.
Whoa. Hold it right there, Mark. Just because we've plonked you in the best all-wheel drive EVs, the fancy Genesis ones, Tesla, Polestar, Volvo, doesn't mean you can judge the entry-level ones at half the price by the same standard. Look, they may not be for our performance-oriented channel, but what the great unwashed needs is a reliable, decent performing, safe runabout with great build quality, and they're going to soon be cheaper than the petrol equivalents, if not already. So I, for one, am quite excited about the Aura Funky Cat. And the MG4 is a fine little rear-wheel drive driver's car for under 40 grand. So disagree. They're not shit. Thank you. Have you heard of Aura? O-R-A?
Yeah. But, you know, they're there for a purpose, aren't they? They're for people who just want an EV to get from A to B, and they're not worried about how it drives or how it corners, and that's good. I get that.
Just talking about this car,
Yep.
it doesn't. The Genesis cars really flatter you with their Bentley quaded seat.
Yeah, they're another level, aren't
seats
they?
and,
But you expect that.
But in terms of performance, though,
Yeah.
this thing's comparable.
It's right up there in terms of performance. But the the overall dynamic of the car is just brilliant, isn't it? You'd have to say. It'd want to be pretty good too, wouldn't it? If you was dropping 100k on a car.
Well, how much does a new Ford Ranger with all the fruit cost?
Yeah, well, probably over that.
Is that when you do open up, listen to this. There's the shutter. Now here comes the screen. Here's the glass. That's so loud.
Yeah. It's
and the windows. It just shows you how loud it is, isn't it? Now we close it up.
We're back into our hermetically sealed vessel now, Stu. Miraculous.
That's huge, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. Just make sure.
It's actually quite a bit of buffeting with
Yeah,
it, but it's a bit like the Toyota Supra, where you open the windows and. Is this not the most fantastic thing?
It's a car that kind of does everything, doesn't it? I mean, pushing on through the corners as we've done today, and really enjoying the car, and it's so capable in every aspect. The performance, handling, and dynamics, braking is superb. But just cruising down here at 110, 115 k's an hour, just easy.
I found that I actually got the most fun out of this car just driving it as if I was driving Her Royal Highness King Charles IV around, you know, limousine style. Yeah, our saviour and sovereign. But look, I do want to talk about direct competitors. You'd have to say, but this is really a BMW competitor. So let me give you an example. A BMW i4 eDrive 40 Grand Coupe in Alpine White with the 19-inch wheels versus the 20 inches on this. Just standard, the cheapest you can get that drive away is $110,000.
Yeah, right.
So that car has similar performance to this, but it doesn't have that electric punch delivery.
Yeah.
If you want to really match this car, then you need to go to an i4 M50 Grand Coupe, and that will cost you. Are you ready? On the road, $144,000.
Yeah, right.
That's like a completely different price league to this car. So it's not really a competitor. But that's not the end of the story. Since shooting the video, BMW's brought out the i4 eDrive 35, which is a much closer competitor to this IONIQ 6. Rear-wheel drive electric car, not quite as fast, 0 to 100 in about 6 seconds. It's rear-wheel drive, but it is priced at $92,000 on the road, very close to the IONIQ. So maybe that's a good match. Tesla, however, is a real competitor. The Model 3 long range on its sexy 19-inch wheels is, on the road, $75,100. And that is an awesome car for those people that don't mind driving a Tesla. I don't mind driving a Tesla. A lot of people don't want to be in a Tesla. That's fine. But to get in this car, to get an equivalent kind of vehicle, you're going to spend another $19,000. I might tell you a Tesla long-range Model 3 does 0 to 100 in 4.4 seconds and has a 602 kilometre range, even more than this car. So that really is a competitive vehicle.
Yeah.
Now, since shooting this video, Tesla's brought out a restyled version of the Model 3. Hurrah! And yes, it looks better, a little bit less fish-faced. But they've taken away some key things that make it an absolute showstopper for me. Not having a blinker stalk. In this country we have roundabouts and you need to turn your blinkers on and off as you're entering and exiting. And not having a stalk to do that is a pain in the arse. Thanks, nice people at Hyundai, for giving us this cool car.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming down, Mark, and giving it a good flogging.
Yeah,
and
it's been
amazing,
good
look, 16.9 kilowatt hours per 100k, including a bit of spirited driving back there.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Hyundai cars, very efficient motors. That's really good.
Let us know what you think of it.
Yeah.
We'd like to know.
So I must say, some of the comments we've had recently have been very interesting, and we've had some very interesting stories about cars we reviewed. Quite enlightening. On the other hand, a lot of the comments have been so puerile, and I swear we're talking to stupid bots.
Yeah.
So we're not responding to those, but
Yeah.
thank you for the intelligent comments. We appreciate them. We do.
They're all amusing to read, though, aren't they, Stu?
Now, we've vacillated back and forth about the styling. Mark likes it, then he doesn't like it, then I don't like it, and who knows. With the clarity of hindsight, I really don't like it. I love so much about the way the car drives, but I just couldn't live with a car that looks like this. The prophecy they based it on was fabulous. Just shut up and take my money. Yes, it's modern, it's futuristic, but it hasn't translated into this car for me. And I joked about it in the previous video and gave it a bit of a styling makeover, which I thought helped. But nonetheless, as fantastic as it is, it's not for me. Totally up to you. Oh hey, you made it right through to the end of the video. Congratulations. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please share it with your motoring friends. And above all, click the little subscribe thing down here so you can see the latest videos when we bring them out, hopefully each week. I look forward to seeing you soon.